Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. This is Mr. Hoffman, and today I'm going to just give you a few reminders for your Make a Musical project. Just a reminder, this is a group project. The groups are listed down here. The one group is Lewis, Josias, and Jason. The next is Anerica, Ethan, and John Lucas. The next group is Gilberto, Edward, and Elias. The next group is a group of four, Imani, Delani, Chanelli, and Anid. The next group is Kaylee, Guadalupe, and Sebastian. And the next group is Jaden, Liliana, and Destiny. You can also take a look at the rubric down here for more information on how I will grade it. But what you and your group members are going to do, to remind you, is that you and your group members are the directors of your very first musical. You are calling the shots and you get to decide everything for your musical. And these are the things that you'll need to do. First, you'll need to choose the story. That's making the story plan. Then you'll pick 4 songs to go with the story. That's on the song selection slides. For set design, you'll decide on the sets, the locations for your show, the costumes, what the characters will wear, and props, what they hold in their hands or use. For marketing, you will create a poster to advertise your musical. Remember that all of you are responsible for working on the story plan together. That's very important. All of you, every single one of you needs to work on the story plan with your group members together. That cannot be one person's responsibility. You can, however, divide up the rest of the work in whatever way makes the most sense to you and your group members. You'll also need to make sure that you choose one group member's slideshow to use as the main one for your project. So if you know whose slides you're going to use, then you're going to go into your slideshow and you're going to click that share button up at the top right corner. And then you'll type in your group members' names. So for example, if my group members are Mr. Rivera, how about I actually type Mr. Rivera's name, and Miss I, then I'll type their names in, make sure it says editor, and click send. I'm not going to do that because they don't know about this project, and that's fine. But let me just show you one other thing. So like I said, you do have to split up the work for your projects amongst your group members. And there are really 3 ways that you can do that. Let's say that you have 3 people in your group. Let's say Alvin, Simon, and Theodore. And of course, the story plan will all 3 of them work on it together. But let's say, for example, that we have for song selection, Alvin and Simon will work together. For set design, Simon and Theodore will work together. And for marketing, Alvin and Theodore will work together. Here's another example, a group of Mirabel, Luisa, and Isabella. So of course, the story plan, all 3 of these sisters, of these magical sisters will work on the story plan together. Mirabel will handle the song selection herself with input maybe from Luisa and Isabella. Luisa will take charge of the set design, maybe with some input from Mirabel and Isabella. And Isabella will take care of the marketing or advertising, creating the poster for the musical. And again, some input from Mirabel and Luisa, but each of them will be responsible for their own part of creating the musical, and they're going to be the main person in charge of that. The last example is a group of Shrek, Fiona, and Donkey. And in this group, they work really, really well together. So they've decided to make it so that they are all working on all parts of the project. Everyone is working on the story plan together. Everyone is working on the song selection together. Everyone is working on the set design together, and everyone's working on the marketing together. So these are 3 ways that you could do it. We should not have one person doing all of the project or even most of the project on their own. That's not really fair. So make sure that you are really collaborating with your group members in that way. To go over the actual project itself, in this story plan, you should do this first. So I like to approach creating your story from a couple of different angles. And one of them is the characters. Who are the people in your story? What makes them interesting? You'll also need to decide on where and when your story takes place. And this is another really important approach. What is the main message that you want your audience to get from your story? Once you have your characters and theme, you can then try to get the problem taken care of. So you can talk about what that problem is going to be. If you have interesting characters, think about what problems they might have. Or you could think about, if you have a main message that you want your audience to get from your story, then think about what problem might need to be solved in order to communicate that message. You can also, if you are thinking of a very interesting problem, you can start with that and then build out from there. Think about which characters might be needed in order to tell that story and solve that problem. And think about what that main message is that you want that to be after you solve that problem. So, yes, moving on. Remember, for song selection, you're choosing a song and you're going to explain why it is an opening number, why it is an I Want song, why it is an 11 o'clock number, why it is a finale. That's 4 different songs, by the way. So one for each placement. You're going to tell me about the song structure. Tell me about the placement. Tell me about the song type, transition, decision, or realization. Tell me about rhyme. You can give me YouTube links, but make sure that you're really explaining why these songs are important to the story, why they help tell the story in the way that it should in that placement. And you can also go back to the lesson slides. This one was part 3 to remember how we analyze those songs. For set design, you're going to give me a visual picture of what locations you see in your story. So if the setting is in Miami, then maybe you might have in a restaurant, at the beach, on a boat, and somewhere else, one other location. So you do need to have 4 sets, 4 locations. You're going to give me a picture of it, and you're going to, in bullet point form, explain what parts of your story from the story plan take place on in that location. You can also, in this place, or in this case, slide rather, talk about what your characters will be wearing, their costumes, and anything that they might be holding in their hands or using. So props. And you can also come back to a set or a location more than once during your story. Again, you need to have a visual, an image or a photo, and you need to have an explanation as well. For marketing, remember that you are creating a poster for your musical, and that poster needs to include the name of your musical, some pictures or images related to your musical, the dates of the performance, and lots of color. It should be neat. It should look organized. It should be visually appealing, visually compelling. It should look good. And you can put the photo of it here. Now, you can do this on paper. You can do it on Google Slides right here. You can make a different Google Slides, or you can let me know if you're interested in Canva, which is a really great graphic design app that's pretty easy to use. If you have any questions, please add them as a private comment on your assignment. And let me know what your question is, and I will answer it as soon as I can. Thanks so much. I'm looking forward to seeing your projects, and have a great rest of your day and a great weekend. If you need anything before Monday, just let me know and I'll answer the question as soon as I can. Take care.